So we end up with this ridiculous bunch. There's about three people, four people pushing this cart. What do you call that thing? I don't know. This hospital, vehicle with the character Abby, who's bleeding on it, with pumps, under her armpits or for the bleeding. So, because as you know, the blood needs to be there all the time. If anybody's bleeding, it's squirting. And and there's a doctor, there's a nurse on my left side and a doctor on the other side running with it. I have my arm around the nurse while we're just hauling down the hallway. And they got the shotgun hanging out like a tank, pointing at the next door. And I grabbed a bottle, and it just turned into this crazy circus. And I love it. What I love about it is that it was a relatively traditional scene the way it was written, except for the fact that there's this drunk patient halfway the hallway, and that was the whole point of the scene. Now it is surreal. It's a nightmare scene, and I think it's hilarious, and it's crazy, and every scene seems to almost every scene is like growling, crazy, silly circus, and it is so funny. I think. All right, so that finished that. I ran out of, I didn't realize I was going on for 10 minutes. When was it? This morning, yesterday? Um, but I want to finish on one more story about, I have, the hobo has a moment in the film where he is, in my opinion, completely bummed out, so to speak, and also lost. He he has just left this one girl who he saved a few times, and she saves him a few times, and they have really sort of started to like each other, but they're too fucked up or shy to really, make anything out of it in the given time. And but he decides to bring her presents, and when she's in the hospital, she's getting over this big cut, and she's been stitched up, and the doctors are, okay. And God, it's a filthy hospital. You really don't want to be there. I've seen these hospitals. They're real around the world, but this one was really, very dirty. A lot of terrible things must have gone on there. The other funny thing was about this hospital. It was built in the studio, and as you know, our budget is small. It's we can barely make it for this money, and the set. If I slammed the door too hard, or kicked the door too hard, or we were driving this vehicle too hard into the double doors. At one point, a light just came out of the vent, and the other point slammed, I just went through the door, and the whole ceiling caved in. Three times. And I sort of touched the wall, and I knew it was very thin, but I didn't know that the budget was that bad. Anyway, so the hobo has he has a moment. He sort of says goodbye to her, and he doesn't think he's going to see her again. And he brings these shitty flowers. There's like 3.5 flowers in there that are totally bad. But you gotta do something. Everything's so funny. Um, and we rehearsed quite a long time on this scene because it needed to be right. And I fought just for one thing, saying, okay, let's let it just be a goodbye scene. For as far as they know, they're not saying it, but they may feel it. And that's that. And that was cool. After that, he walks the hallway, and he feels like, yeah, totally blue, so to speak. But he's just wandering around, trying to figure out what he's going to do, and he wanders into this this baby room with babies in it, just lying there and moving their legs and feet, and some sleeping. And it's a very sort of darkish, quiet atmosphere. And in the script, he just starts talking, and he's sort of talking about the future. And this was a monologue. I know that a lot of people were excited about it. I know that the director was looking forward to it and hoping I could just deliver that. And it was not quite streamlined. It wasn't quite there yet. I had to rework the words, because if the words are too, what's the word, bulky, in a way, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. And last minute, I worked on it really hard. I tweaked it. They had a monitor. I'd asked for that because I know then you can just work on it until the last moment, until you really have it, and then do it. And if you don't, if it's not good enough, you can change the words and do it again. And it's beautiful. And I had such a good time with it. I mean, the monologue in the film, I never believe it. People don't talk to themselves most of the time. But I felt that I could get away with it because this guy is nobody, and he talks to, the walls of the train sometimes, or the bathroom, where somebody is standing there who's not listening. So I felt he could talk, and I really, really tried to keep the character, not too big, but also marry it to my own thoughts, I'd say. And I love this. It's just so close to the edge and right on the string. I think I got it. We did like 3 takes or something, and then a couple of different takes with closer and something. But I think I got it really nicely, and I hope it's true. They did come. I heard it. I felt it. They did come to me afterwards saying, "Oh, that was really great." And then you'll see maybe in the other clip, I invited the trio, let's say, the producer, director, and what else am I forgetting? That's a duo. Anyway, I invited the 3 boys into my trailer to just like a sip and just kind of let it go, and you can see they're excited and they're happy, and it's good. And that's what we do it for. It's so simple. It is a challenge it's a challenge for you as an actor, but it's also to see if you can hit the director in a place that he didn't expect, and it is at least as good as he was hoping for. And if you make it better, that's just wonderful. Okay, nighty-night, enough.